بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
السلام عليكم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. الحمد لله. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, اقترب للناس حسابهم وهم في غفلة معرضون, that people's reckonings are drawing nearer and yet people are in heedlessness, not thinking about that. اقترب للناس حسابهم, يوم الحساب, يوم القيامة, the day of judgment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described the state of these people is that they're وهم في غفلة. Ghafla is a word in Arabic. It has a lot of different meanings. But generally, whenever you have a word that begins with ghain, it has to do with some kind of covering or something being hidden, something being veiled, like ghaba and ghafara, to cover over. And so the basic meaning of it is that people are in a state of heedlessness. Ghafla, the ghafil is heedless. Mughaffal is a simpleton, a fool. Somebody that can be easily tricked is mughaffal. Somebody that other people can fool them is a simpleton. So the idea that people are in a state of ghafla is a very strong Quranic idea. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ ذَرَأْنَا لِجَهَنَّمَ كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ. We have prepared for the hell many multitudes of the jinn, unseen creatures, and the ins, human beings. لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا. They have intellects. Here the word qalb means intellect. They have intellects, but they don't use them. They don't understand with their intellects. لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا. لَهُمْ أَعْيُنٌ. They have eyes. لَا يُبْصِرُونَ بِهَا. But they don't see with their eyes. They don't see with their eyes. لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا. لَهُمْ أَعْيُنٌ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ بِهَا. وَلَهُمْ آذَانٌ. And they have ears. لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا. But they don't hear. أُولَٰئِكَ كَالْأَنْعَامِ. Those people are like dumb beasts, like cattle and sheep. But then the Quran says, بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلٌ. No. And this is a rhetorical istidrak. In Arabic, bal is used to clarify something if you made a mistake or said something that wasn't clear. Here it's used rhetorically. They're like animals. No. بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلٌ. Why? أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْغَافِلُونَ. Because they're in a state of heedlessness. Now, if you look at the animal kingdom, you will not find animals in a state of heedlessness. Animals, no matter what they're doing, are always in a state of awareness. If you watch an animal eating, even a dog, it'll immediately sense if somebody comes near it. If you watch a rabbit eating, rabbits move their ears around. Why? Because they're worried. There's something that threatens them. There's some danger. Most animals have very sensitive ears and eyes. If you watch rats or mice, if you watch a mouse come out of a hole, a mouse doesn't just saunter out of the hole. The mouse comes out slow. It moves its head around. The same with the lizard. If you watch a lizard come out of its hole, a lot can be learned from animals. That's why Allah uses them as metaphors in the Quran. If you watch a lizard come out of a hole, a lizard like this. The Arabs say, أَحْيَرُ مِنْ ضَبْ, more bewildered than the lizard, because the lizard looks like he's bewildered. What he's really doing is he's checking, is there any danger out there? Animals are constantly aware of danger. They're always aware of danger. Why? Because their existence is threatened. And that awareness, if they're not aware, they're endangering themselves. They're endangering their pride if they're lions, or their flock if they're sheep. That's why in the dumbest of animals, you have that we domesticate. Not animals in nature. Animals that are domesticated need a shepherd. Because humans have domesticated them, they feel safe. They're in fences. Their food is there, they don't have to forage for it, so they start feeling safe. So then you bring in the ra'i. But if you go out in nature, fish are constantly, watch a fish, they turn all at the same time if they sense anything. Fish are constantly aware because like the Arabs say, al-hut yabla hut. One fish, big fish eat little fish. So fish are always aware. There's a lot of animals that have, they'll only come out of their shell like a turtle. It'll come out of the shell. If it senses any danger, it goes back into the shell. There's animals that's their hole, the same thing. They'll run back to their hole. The jarbu' has two, one there, it checks. If it's safe, it'll go out. If it's not, it goes out the other one. It's called a nafqa, which is where the Arabs get munafiq from, because that's where hypocrites are. Always have exit strategy. But that's why Allah says that these people are more astray than animals, because animals are not in a state of heedlessness about the danger that is threatening them. But humans are in heedlessness. They lie around. An animal, if they sense fire, they immediately run. You watch any animal, you put fire near an animal and they flee. What do people do? They see a fire, they say, let's go check the fire out. They're curious. Because this is the type of heedlessness. Man is so clever, his cleverness kills him. This is the state of human beings. But Allah warns of that state. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about the people of the cities, أَفَأَمِنَ أَهْلَ الْقُرَىٰ أَنْ يَأْتِيَهُمْ بَأْسُنَا بَيَاتٌ وَهُمْ نَائِمُونَ. Do people feel safe in these cities that our harm won't come in the nighttime while they're sleeping? أَوَأَمِنَ أَهْلَ الْقُرَىٰ أَنْ يَأْتِيَهُمْ بَأْسُنَا ضُحًى وَهُمْ يَلْعَبُونَ. Do people feel safe during the daytime that our harm won't come to them and they're playing? Why does Allah use playing? He doesn't say يَشْتَغِلُونَ يَعْمَلُونَ, they're working. Because if you have no purpose in your life, in what you're doing, then you're playing. That's what lu'ab is. It's an activity that has no purpose other than entertainment. That's what games are. They're simply to entertain people. And so this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying about people. They're in a state of heedlessness. أَفَأَمِنُوا مَكْرُ اللَّهِ. Do they feel safe from the design of God? فَلَا يَأْمَنُوا مَكْرُ اللَّهِ. The only people that feel safe from the design of God, who are they? الْقَوْمَ الْخَاسِرُونَ, the losers. The losers. إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. Same word. قَوْمَ الْخَاسِرُونَ. Surely by the passage of time, humanity is in a state of loss. You're losing time. Your time is running out. You've got a clock on your hand that'll tell you 12 hours. You also have a clock that Allah has designed. It's an internal clock. It's got 50 years, 75 years, 40 years, 30 years, and that clock comes to an end. That's it. You don't get a battery recharged. If your clock breaks down here, you go and get it fixed. No, it's over. And then people, what do they say? Irji'ni a'mal salihan. Let me go back, I'll do good. That's what people say. That's the state of people. It's a state of heedlessness. People are walking around daydreaming. They're completely unaware. I was taking my children across the street yesterday. It was at night, and they had ridden somewhere. I rode with them. And I said, look, when you go across the street, you have to be completely aware because these people are sleeping. They're driving around they're daydreaming. People are on automatic pilot. And just to prove my point, as I stepped off the curve, and I had the right of way, and the pedestrian things had a sign saying, walk, 10, 9, 7, 6, 8. And a car swerved, almost hit me, coming around, and this lady looks at me, and like she didn't even see me, just to prove the point. That could have been it for me. But that's the state people are in. They're in a complete state of heedlessness. When you're driving out there, driving is ibadah. Because you have a weapon of mass destruction behind you. That's what you've got there. That's a weapon of mass destruction. And you don't give weapons of mass destruction to idiots. A car can kill large numbers of people. You can kill 50 people on the freeway. We had 30 people die, 33 people died in Virginia. It's a national catastrophe. You know how many people died yesterday on